Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanius here. Welcome to episode 17 or episode number 10 of the live Draft to Glory franchise mode series here on my channel. Today we're going to be getting into the 2031 offseason and NHL draft. As last episode, our team was actually able to make the Stanley Cup playoffs. Of course, we were eliminated in round one. We just couldn't quite get the job done, and a Michael Misa injury really kind of just set us back. Although we did eventually lose to the Eastern Conference champions in the Washington Capitals, and it was a decent start for our team for making the playoffs. Michael Misa had a massive year last year, putting up 87 points. Ethan Belchetz was right there with him with 81, and those guys really are kind of becoming the heart and soul of this team at this point. Obviously, Artyom, Levshunov, Landon, DuPont, Oleg Vasiliev, those guys are still going to be very good, but we just need to see a little bit more out of those guys if our team's really going to go anywhere. So we did also have some players like Wade Tuzolino and Andy Healy kind of drop off from that medium elite potential, which was unfortunate, but we were also kind of expecting because they hadn't really performed that well over the previous few years. And we've got a really, really good looking team coming up here. We've got a pretty formidable defensive core. And then the rest of the group is just kind of filler players for now until we see more guys really make that jump to the NHL. So let's get into it. Let's not really hesitate too much more. And of course we've got so many elite potential goalies. It's gonna be a good draft coming up here. That's what we're looking at for sure. So as you guys can see, obviously the top five, we're not gonna be anywhere near the top five because of the season we just had, but there are quite a few players. Mario St. Louis is an elite, but there's a lot of other elites in here too. As you can see, at least 3 other elite goalies as well that we could have a shot at. So we'll probably be taking one of those guys, even though all of them are 19 or 20. Apart from, actually, Clayton Foss looks like he could be a decent pick. So we'll probably work backwards from him, but we'll see because we obviously have a limited selection of picks. This guy's going to be a great pick here, Johan Magnuson. He looks really good, and then apart from that, we are still waiting on some other scouting reports to come back before we really figure out exactly who we're taking here. And some of these guys just aren't gonna be scouted in time, but that is okay because again, we can't be perfect on every single draft. So as I just do this tiny little bit more of scouting here, we'll just wait and see what the scouts are able to bring back for us. We were also looking for our first round selection either at Viktor Varlamov, who actually looks like a pretty solid sniper here. I do not currently have a player locked in from my first round pick yet, so we will throw a little voting tag up here because it's really between 2 players here. It's either going to be Viktor Varlamov or it's going to be Brendan Gallagher. Those are the two players that we're actually looking at and considering, and we'll pick one of them probably. So I gotta sneeze, hold on. There we go. Alright, let's slap a little poll in here. Thank you. Alright, so we got a poll running there now in the chat. You guys can see who the 2 players are that we're going to look at for our first round selection. Besides that, I'm just going to keep looking through here a little bit on the draft, see if we have any other draft steals available. It doesn't look like there's really a whole lot, but there are a few guys. Guys like Joakim Niemi look pretty solid, actually. But yeah, there's really 2 players there that we're considering. So that's it. You guys can vote and just vote away. We're gonna start simulating up ahead here now, and I should probably do some arena maintenance because I don't think we've done that yet this year. And yeah, club seats needed to be upgraded, so that will work out just fine for us. And then we'll get a few of these done, and that works for me. All right. Okay, well, it looks like you guys want Gallagher, which is, makes sense. I understand why you'd want that. All right, let's simulate ahead here. So we've passed our club seat goal, and there's the lottery. St. Louis is going to get the number 1 pick. Not that there was like a franchise potential player on the table or anything necessarily, but that is going to be your draft order. I am going to keep track of that because otherwise I will forget. But the St. Louis Blues are going to get the number 1 pick. Pittsburgh gets a little bit screwed there. Nobody else really moves besides St. Louis from 3 to 1, so not really a disappointing lottery by any means for any of those teams. So, all right. Obviously, we didn't have 85% fan happiness at concession, but as we get into the retired players, here's who we're looking at this year, and it's going to be Philip Forsberg as the big name guy. He's 87 rated still, could have kept playing for sure. Jeff Skinner calls it quits. Teuvo Teravainen, William Karlsson, Dougie Hamilton, Josh Morrissey. Some big names for sure. Not quite as high scoring as previous draft classes as we've seen, but still a lot of household name players that a lot of people would recognize, obviously. So those were the top guys. As far as the goalies go, oh my goodness, talk about a goalie class this year. Bobrovsky, Ullmark, Merzlikins, Binnington, Lindgren, Lankinen, that's a lot of guys. And hey, even Kevin Lankinen finally retired. We were wondering when that was going to happen, and it finally does. So yeah, there you have it. We lose Sean Walker this year, so that's a big name off of Newfoundland that we had been, again, wondering about, how much longer is this guy actually going to stick around when we're losing this much? And all right, we actually lose Robinson, Sherwood, and Zahorna as well to retirees, which was kind of expected, honestly. So yeah, that is your retiree class for this year. And a bit of a tough one for us to swallow as far as we lose a lot of players again here. So that is okay. That's did Bob ever play for us? Unfortunately, not peaceful. If he had, that would have been crazy. But all right, I'm looking at this poll here, and yeah, it seems like most of you guys actually want Brendan Gallagher simply for the name and the hilarious status of the fact that he could turn out to be a future very solid player for us. So, all right, looks like the top player is Joel Flynn as a power forward, although Rabis is making his way up the board there. A few other good players there, like Rokan looks really good. And even Keaton Callahan too. But let's see if any other elite players kind of popped up and showed themselves. Looks like, yeah, not a whole lot. Maybe Aubrey, but we're not certain on him. Moroza slid down the board a little bit, which is probably good for us, meaning we could probably get him with a second-round pick. Even though he is 20, he's probably going to be one of the best kind of in our range players that we can actually draft. This Oleg Bobrovsky guy looked good, but yeah. Man, if we had a late round, what do you call it? If we had if we were drafting really high up the board, Varlamov would be a great second round option, but I just don't think that's quite going to happen. Obviously, Brendan Gallagher is going to be the pick based on the voting here. So, all right, let's. Yeah, we'll give it one more look here, but I don't think it's really going to change too much. I don't think we're going to find a whole lot of other players that we hadn't already been looking at. So, yeah, Niemi will probably be a pick. And then apart from that, I don't know. We're gonna plan this out quickly, but it's going to be kind of all over the place. All right, so let's see if we saw any changes to players and ratings in our team. And looks like the main one there is Landon DuPont, kind of just really solidifying himself as the top player on this team at this point. Obviously, Oleg Vasilyev dropped a little bit in potential, which stunk, but it happens. Obviously, we can't maintain every single player's top rating and status unless we were winning all the time, which is also unrealistic. So, All right, I think. Ooh, yeah, Rogers is looking really good. So is Houston too, though. So we've got options for sure with this team. I'm not really worried at all about the way we're trending, progressing with this team. I think it's gonna be we're gonna be in a good position here. In, I don't know, gonna say T minus 2 or 3 years, really. Also, how about Modine? Oh my goodness, Ludwig Modine grew a lot. Like, we drafted him at, what was his rating last year? It was like 47, 48. He was 50. Okay, so we drafted him at 50. He grew 12 ratings over one season. So if he does that again, he's probably going to be a shoo-in for our starting goalie here in no time at all. So keep an eye on him for sure. And then we'll see where our picks land. We're going to be in the 20-ish range, somewhere around there. So it's going to be a little trickier and a little different than previous years with the draft. So without further ado, let's get to the draft, and it should be a good one. I'm going to sit and plan out my picks for a few minutes as the top picks get made, and then we'll actually start firing off the draft picks here. All right, so the only reason I'm hitting offer trade here is because then I can actually go and view all of our picks. And all right, we got pick 23. Ugh. .221 is a late pick for sure, so that's going to be interesting this year. But, all right, let's go view the draft class. It does seem, yeah, definitely looks like, all right. All right, we're going to end the poll here. It looks like pretty much all of you guys wanted Brendan Gallagher, which is actually, it's funny. It's a little memey, but that's okay. But hey, if he turns out and actually wins for us, that's going to be huge. So, plus Varlamov. Well, Varlamov is actually a pretty solid size. But you know what? Gallagher, being a gem, probably is going to be a good pick still. So, all right. We only had 4 votes in total. Is that really how many viewers we got on the stream? Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Well, you know what? That's all right. We will go with it. So, Brendan Gallagher, hilariously enough, is going to be our first pick. But hey, you know what? Let's do it. He's probably going to be a 2-way forward. Not guaranteed, but probably going to be 2-way forward. After him at 56, I have no clue who we're going with here. Probably Moroza. That makes the most sense for me, unless you guys think we should go for Aubrey instead, but he's a bit of a risk. Same with Elijah Neal. Yeah, I think we're going to stick with the old reliable picks here. Actually, you know what? We're gonna be going completely off the board now that I'm thinking about it. We're gonna be taking the other elite guys here, so guys like Landon Robbins and Michel Bernier, and then probably a goalie if we can sneak it. We might be able to. It might not be Clayton Foss, which is okay because that just isn't necessarily going to be an option, but if not Kim Moeller, then UC Letavouri is probably going to be the other guy. So we got options. I just don't know exactly which one we're going to take here. But yeah, we'll try to take those other guys. Oh, Flynn is really nicely rated. Goodness gracious. He was out of the O, correct? Oh my goodness, look at that. Loaded on X Factors. That is a very nice first overall pick. Better than some of the ones we've had in the past, but we'll see. We'll see if he develops properly. So right away here, I'm just trying to figure out who we want to take with the last pick. Maybe we'll just we'll just hold off on that last pick for 221 because I really have no idea who we're taking there. But all right, Rochan goes 4th, Lam goes 5th, and yay, nobody botched it this year. Good job. Okay, we are ready to rock and roll here. So let's simulate all the way up to pick 23, where we will indeed be taking Brendan Gallagher, which is going to be a good pick and a fun pick for sure. And we're just going to hope and pray that his gem status actually makes him good. So there are your other picks. It was a loaded first round this year. Lots of very high quality prospects. And yeah, outside of that top 5, no other elites really. But the rating, man, the rating on these is really good. Like, I have no doubt that if we took, if you guys had voted to take, what's his name? Varlamov here. I get the feeling if you had voted to take him that he'd probably be like a 73, 74 rated, somewhere in there. But we're going to go with the poll vote pick instead, and Brendan Gallagher the second. We should call him Gally Jr. probably. You think he's going to be 66 overall? You know, with that 3-year ETA? He's got a couple B ratings, so yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I think he is probably going to be in that range too. And okay, 64. So nothing spectacular, but solid, absolutely solid. So we will take it. We will use the two-way forward in our bottom 6. That's absolutely where he's going to slot in. And all right, not a bad first pick. Let's see how good Varlamov actually was, because he's going to fall to the second round. Edler was good. Fontinos was okay. McGinnis was 76 rated. That would have been a good pick. Well, you win some, you lose some. But you know what? He didn't even make it out of the first round, I'm pretty sure. He did not. Varlamov 74 rated. Ooh. That's a nice player right there. That's a very nice player. So, Teufel was 67 rated too. So we knew about these guys. We knew they were going to be good. But, yeah, wow. This pick right here, Gord McGinnis, was probably the guy that we should have drafted, if I'm being completely honest. But, you know what? We can't hit every single pick, right? So, that is okay. Let's get on to the next pick here. And this one is going to be way the heck off the board. We're going to skip over a whole bunch of other prospects, and we're going to take the guaranteed medium elite 18-year-old in Landon Robbins, and hopefully by the time he's 23, he's in our NHL lineup, and he's 49 rated, so nothing crazy spectacular there, but we will take it absolutely for a second-round pick, because really, this year, we had a good year, and we're just looking to build our prospect pool up even more with later round steals like that. Ooh, Elijah Neal was indeed a medium elite. We didn't know if he was going to be or not. Ooh, Nicholas Aubry also was a medium elite, so we could have taken either of those guys and been just fine. But we'll stick with our Robbins pick. I'm okay with that. And anything else? Ooh, Moroza, yes, of course. We knew Moroza was there. So, all right, on to our third round selection here. And I'm not going to take John Stasiak, as good as he might look. Instead, we're going to take Michel Bernier here out of the QMJHL. He should be in the league by the time he's 24. And he's a 54 rated right-wing grinder. Obviously, we knew he was medium elite, but it was really just a question of rating with a 19-year-old like that. So we'll see. He actually seems all right as far as his abilities go. His scoring has been questionable at best, but we'll hopefully see an uptick in that now that he's been drafted. So, with our next pick, it does look like we have the option for Foss is gone, Mahler's gone, but it does look like Letavuri's still on the board. So do you guys think we should go with Letavuri, or do we go with one of those medium top 6 guys instead? I think that's probably the better play, simply because we have so many goaltenders already. Lapointe was really good too. What do you guys think? Like, Letavuri is available there. Galley 2.0, absolutely. I'm scared Martin Wall's going to be a really good player, too. Like, he looks good. He's just 20. That's the problem, is he's 20 years old now, so. Will Vesey, honestly, not even a bad player, but I think we're going to go with Reed McClellan here. That's got to be the pick. I don't see why we wouldn't take him. We don't really need a left-wing power forward at this point versus a right wing / center two-way forward. It's just perfect for our team needs. So, all right, we'll take him. Right-handed U.S. guy, and he's 49 rated as well. So again, just gotta hope and pray that he turns out. Goodness gracious, just getting spammed here. All right, so that's 2 number 47s now because Gallagher also preferred to wear 47, so we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Ooh, look at that. 70 rated backup. Cam Prasad. Not a bad option there at all. That was a really solid pick. Veshy was okay. Vickers was okay. Ooh, Montgomery. I missed him altogether. 58 rated. He is 19. But yeah, okay. Not a bad pick there either at all. And how was... Wall was top 9. Beautiful. I'm glad we didn't pick him because that could have been a serious mess up. Ledavouri was 59 rated, but he is 20 as well. So, in 2 years, I don't doubt that our players can grow more than 10 ratings. But Joakim Niemi, going to be the pick here. I just don't really think there's anybody better than him available on the board, although Trey Celios might be good. But we're taking Joakim Niemi as the guaranteed 18-year-old. 48 rated, so nothing insane there, but lots of room to grow still. So we're taking the potential over the overall, which I am fine with. We've done the opposite in previous years, and it hasn't turned out very well for us. So yeah. Okay, besides that, nothing crazy in round 6 so far. Anything else in round 5 that was crazy? Not really. How good was Celios? I can probably just skip right past him here. He's still on the board? No way. No way is Celios still on the board at 188. No, he's not. Okay, that makes sense. He shouldn't be. I must have just missed him right off the bat. So we have Chad Boynton here, which again, we don't really need a goalie. We're definitely taking Johan Magnuson as our third defender of the draft, and possibly the best defender we're going to have a chance to draft. So let's not hesitate here. Let's just take him, see how good he is. And he is 55 rated at 18. Well, 18 turning 19, but still. Johan Magnuson could be the best pick out of this entire draft, potentially. We'll have to wait and see. But man, oh man, does he ever look good. All right, we got a trade option there, which we're obviously not allowed to take. And anybody at all. The 7th round looks pretty stingy here. Ooh, Dominik Card, not a bad pick for the Penguins. Have to respect them for that. Pittsburgh's had a good draft here this year, I have to say. All right, besides that, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Boynton was available. Ooh, Glass was actually a low elite. So that's a great pick by Columbus. And then for our last pick, I think we're either going with Erik Karlsson, but there's other options too. We could also go with Yuri Yakupov, who doesn't look bad, but we don't really need more defense. Redmond we're not going to take. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's really like 2 players. Maybe we take Bebko. We could take Schubert as well, but I think we just send the slight risk here on Erik Karlsson and hope he's like medium 9 at the worst. All right, so you guys are all picking out Galley's number to wear. Has to wear number 11. Mario was an elite too. Yes, he was indeed. All right. 2.0. All right, you guys say number 22 for the new Brendan Gallagher, or Galley 2.0. And all right, we're going to go with Erik Karlsson as our last pick of this draft. Not really going to hesitate too much on it. We're just going to go for it. And if he turns out, he turns out. If he doesn't, oh well, it's not the end of the world by any means. He's a 7th round pick at the end of the day. So we will stick with our decision regardless. And here we go. Erik Karlsson is a medium bottom 6. Go figure. Okay, so we managed to draft only 18 and like 1 or 2 19-year-olds in this entire draft. Very solid year overall for the Growlers as far as the draft goes again. I got no issues with how that played out. And let's see how this last little stretch of the 7th round turns out, if there's anybody that's actually good here that has some kind of real potential. Low 9's almost real potential. It's not quite, but it's close. And there's quite a few guys there. Of course, we're going to see some more bottom 6. Bebco, that's actually a really good pick by Edmonton. They went off the board there, but to pick him. And yeah, all right. That is it for this draft. Very, very solid year overall for the Newfoundland Growlers, and Burish was a low 9 too, but there you have it. That is our 2031 NHL draft class. We got, of course, Brendan Gallagher. He's going to be great. Landon Robbins, we'll see. Same with Michel Bernier and McLennan and Niemi. Magnuson is my pick to turn out the best out of all of those guys, apart from Gallagher, of course. But also, I just wanted to point out to you guys how well the Pittsburgh Penguins did here. They got some really good players like Rabas, Foss, Card. Those are good picks. Like, yeah, they might have botched some other picks, but Pittsburgh's well on track to getting back to the point where they're actually going to be good again. So, yeah, there you have it. Solid draft. Yes, we missed on some players, but at the same time, we also hit on pretty much all of our picks apart from the 7th rounder, which I cannot complain about. So there you have it. Pretty solid start to this episode. I'm happy with how we did there. Of course, we'll finish up the edited episode here with the re-signing phase in free agency. And of course, we have to re-sign our head coach at this point, Damian Corso. Like, there's just no doubt about it that we should sign him. So we'll do that right now. We are going to take Ludeman and make him... Okay, I guess we can't do that. So we'll make him goalie coach for now and then change it back after because I botched that. So, all right, we will sign Dadano as well. He only wanted a 2-year contract, so that's not amazing. I would prefer more than 2-year contracts for these scouts, but it seems like all of them want 2 years. And that works for me. All right. So that's our scouting staff this year. And, all right, we've got a few names. Noel Millman, Artem Svitov, and a few others that we need to re-sign here that are actually restricted this year. Apart from that, we've, nailed a lot of our picks and extensions and things like that already as far as upcoming players go. And I am honestly very happy with where this team is at right now. There is a lot of good players here that are going to start making an impact for our team very quickly here. So, all right. Looks like for the most part, yes, we need to sign Houston. There's not really a whole lot of others besides that. Kuzmenko is absolutely bottomed out as far as his potential goes. He has done his career at this point. But yeah, we have a few names we definitely need to re-sign here as well. So, or need to just sign in general right now. So, all right, Delmore's down to a 78. That's not spectacular considering he just won 35 games. Okay, I'm not entirely thrilled with that. I'm not also super happy that Sawyer Saunders is only up to a 65 overall after 2 seasons. I was really hoping that he might grow a little bit better, but that really did not happen. So I think at this point we're probably saying goodbye to Tristan Barrett. That's more than likely going to be the case. Although he was all right, we just don't have enough goalie spots left over. Bobolev's simply got better potential at this point. He's 4 years younger. And we have to keep Ryan Fanti. There's no doubt about it. We have to keep him. Yeah, it's because if I close my little chat pop-up window there, Peaceful, sometimes it just disappears, like it doesn't update on time. So, all right, we'll do this. Maybe we won't qualify him. But yeah, we'll bring Ryan Fanti in for 1 more season. We'll do Svitov as a contract, and then we will sign Sawyer Saunders. We are going to keep Fanti for sure. We'll see if we need to release Barrett or if we can just qualify him. But at this point, Caden Sanchez is absolutely going to be our starting goalie for next year. I have no doubt about that. And our top four on our defensive group is absolutely secure at this point. We are locked in and ready to go. We're going to sign a 1-year, $2.1 million contract for Dylan Collin. Zamula wants a lot of money for the next couple of years. We're going to offer him a 1-year deal at 3.6 and just get him to sign that. Then we'll sign all these guys for the entry-level deals that take up no cap space. Or not entry-level, but just minor league deals that take up no space. We will sign Noel Millman to one of those as well. Hopefully he'll play better this season. He didn't really have a great year last year. And then we will sign Calder. And yes, I agree, Peaceful. We need that jersey retiree number because that would just be awesome. But all right, at this point, I think although Aaron Stamkos hasn't been bad for us by any means in Halifax, like he had a 29-point year 1 year. But I think at this point he just has zero potential, especially as a 26-year-old. So he's probably a guy we're gonna walk here just to clear up a little more space for the rest of our team. So yes, it is a bit of a sad day, but Aaron Stamkos, again, he was a 6th-round pick in 2025, so almost 6 years ago now, or I guess exactly 6 years ago now. And he's a player that, yes, we are going to unfortunately have to say goodbye to here, more than likely. Not guaranteed, but more than likely because we need to clear up those spots. Versus, Van den Busch at least has a little bit more potential as a low 7th. And then those two right wingers we're not going to sign yet. We're going to, of course, let these guys continue to develop. And then we've got those two in the NHL for right wingers. We have a ton of left wingers in comparison. Like, we do need to sign Hugo Foucault, who actually had a really good year this year, 69 points in 66 games, but just didn't really grow, unfortunately. So we've definitely been hitting that type of struggle here a lot. Like, it has been consistent that we are not getting growth from players that we probably should be getting growth from. But, that's how it goes. Can't really control it too much, especially when they're in the minor leagues. We are going to sign Michael Carconi to 1 more year. We'll definitely sign Myers to... Oh, maybe we won't, actually, because we got Houston here that we need to sign. We are going to keep Savan and Voinov and a few other guys that we actually drafted, because why wouldn't we? And at this point, we're going to release Kuzmenko. He's just simply not good enough at this point to play over other guys like Foucault, who need the development and growth time. And, all right, we'll definitely re-sign Cody Sweat. And on to centers, we've got Lizotte will probably get some play time still. We'll see. Arvidsson's actually not done too bad considering the low potential. And then we have to sign Milan Sekras this year. So that is it for the re-signing, I believe, at least as far as what we need to do. And let's start advancing a day or two here and see how our spots kind of fill out. So looks like we definitely got Michael Carconi, probably Hugo Foucault. And here we go. So we get Lizotte, Zamula, Carconi, Houston, Fanti, Mackey, Calder, Cullen, Carlisle, Foucault, Van den Busch, Sweat, Sekras, Gore. We did not have room for Saunders, so we will have to let Barrett go. But Millman, Savan, Arvidsson, Voinov, Svitov, all sign. All right. And yeah, as far as expiring players go here, we're going to release Tristan Barrett. That's going to definitely cause some negative impacts, but we've got Sawyer Saunders coming up, so I really don't have an issue doing that. And okay. This defense looks formidable. That's going to be really fun in the future here. That's going to be the reason why we actually win coming up. So, all right. We probably could use maybe one more kind of top 6 center that has really decent rating. So, but apart from that, all of our expiring players, we've literally just got Myers. So we'll sign him as long as he accepts the contract. And we are good to go. So let's get to free agency. Not going to be an overly crazy free agency class or anything, but we'll keep an eye on it for sure. Let's just make sure that our coaching staff is all aligned here at this point. Corso is the head coach, which is perfect. We're going to promote Ludeman back up to our associate coach, even though he's the lower rated of the two, but Corso's just been a great fit for our team. You look at that system and scheme fit, how it's 67%. Like, it doesn't really get a whole lot better than that. We can go and look at other coaches, but why would we when we just made the playoffs with this team? You know, if we start tanking it out with Corso, then maybe again we look to make a change. But all right, we've got a few more scouts coming in here, and we should get all of them. So let's get to the trade block. Let's clear this thing out, because I absolutely hate how many trades we get offered every year. And all right, let's see how free agency looks. So again, I'm falling behind on the chat here. Yeah, Kuzmenko was sad seeing his overall potential. Agreed. That was tough to see for sure. All right, so we got a few low elite guys that maybe we can look at here. Either, Mikhail Koltsov or Demetrius Van Riemsdyk, but really they're so low rated. Yeah, San Jose probably just ran out of cap space. That's probably what happened, but what is San Jose doing with Will Smith? I would say, $13.3 million for Will Smith, considering he only had a 93-point season this year, is a little steep. So, that's probably what's happened there. He's drafted. Felipe Byers is actually a really decent player that, of course, we can't go after because he's drafted. So, keep an eye on those for sure. And all of these guys are going to be drafted, I don't know if they could have. I think he's too old. Oh, no, he is 26. They could have qualified him for sure. Well, he probably is qualified. Oh, no, he's not. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting tactic there. I don't agree with it, but that's what happens sometimes. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Yeah, all right. Exactly, Real Divinity. They don't know what they're doing at all. So, looks like there's no free agents that we actually really want to pursue. I don't see why. It says undrafted. That's because he's a created player. It does say drafted by San Jose, so they should have. But of course, we can't actually go for him. I would love to, but we can't. So, all right, nothing happening in free agency this year. We're just going to sim right ahead to the next season. We'll take a quick peek at the team, and then that's where we'll wrap up this cut of whatever episode 17 it is, and then we'll continue on. Yeah, no, we don't need the Pierre-Luc Dubois curse. We're already bad enough. Oh, man. I'm just really hoping we see some crazy growth over the offseason that we just didn't this last year. So, heading into the next year, we've sold 30% of our tickets, which is so bad, but so funny. And, all right, our owner goals for this year is we're a conservative buyer this year. Ooh, that's a change. Nice. And let's take a peek at the lines. Oh, my goodness. There is a team for you. This is an actual team. We have a legitimate team on our hands. Holy moly. That's bankrupt bet. I don't think we can quite do that. As much as I would love to, I just don't think we can quite pull that off. But how about this team? My goodness. Oh, yeah, there we go. We got a starting goalie in Sanchez this year. That's going to be a huge upgrade, if I'm being honest. And look at that top line, all 90s. That's great. Healy looks really good, too. He's managed to grow and put on Total Eclipse, which he didn't have last year. And if I do believe so, Wade Suzolino also got Lockdown. If it was fancy, easy 82-0, I bet you this team barely goes above 500, but somehow still makes the playoffs. Ooh, look at DuPont getting nice. That's the one we wanted to see, was third eye. Yeah, that's going to be really nice. Also, is Levshunov, he's still franchise. Just saying, he's still franchise. But man, this team looks great this year. Like, I am very excited. Yeah, this decor is going to be sick. Like, we need the bottom two guys still, but even if we swap some Lula over and then put Kirka in here, I think that's going to work too. It's a +1. Okay. Is it better with Colin? It is. All right, so we're going to keep Dylan Colin in there then, for sure. But yeah, we are going to put Kirka in there too. We got to have Jorg. And, all right, we do have to change. I don't know if I actually changed Kirka's number yet. I think I did. I remember doing it. But yeah, we actually have to go and edit that. So besides that, let's take a peek at the power play, because this power play should be the best in the entire league, pretty much. With a defenseman like DuPont and then the forwards that we have here, I don't see why it wouldn't be. The only other thing I think we're going to do here is, instead of Levshunov, we'll actually... no, let's run a 2D-man power play unit. I'm interested to see how that works. The only thing is, I'm not going to give Levshunov top minutes. We're going to give Holloway those top minutes, and then we'll go Levshunov and Zykov on the other one, and that should be really good. I did not. I had him on the wing, and it worked out perfectly for us. Like, I was very happy with how it went. So we're going to keep that the same this year. Yeah, I just don't see the point of switching that up, really. So, okay, and then we got the other three guys here that actually look really good, considering they don't fit together all that well. We will obviously swap Healy and Zelino. And then by doing that, I think we're going to be... yeah, we're going to have a heck of a power play coming up here. So that is the unit. You know what? We'll keep that crazy 4-man unit together because that looks insane. The only thing that's bugging me here is, like, why... you know what? Let's go Belchetz over Vasilyev here. Run that on this power play, and that's still +5. And then we can go... instead of Belchetz, we can go Vasilyev here. And alright, that at least gets to... oh, that's only a 0. Ooh, that's not great. That's really not great. We might have to throw Zykov on the first pairing now that I'm looking at it. That might be the play. Yeah, that's going to be the play for sure. Okay, so we'll keep those two together. That's fine. But yeah, then we'll go DuPont and then Zykov here instead. Give Zykov some crazy playtime minutes. And it's a +2. Okay, it's not spectacular, but we'll take it. We're trying to get maximized chemistry here still. And then look at the kill. The kill looks really good. I have to say, a +3 there is awesome. A 0 is actually a really solid rating too. And then, let's see, how's this? Ugh, negative. Yeah, kind of figured that might happen. What if we swap out... anybody we can swap out? Not really. Well, actually, it should be Teeman in here, probably. Because, yeah, he wasn't playing second kill. And then instead of Healy, I'm wondering if anybody else, maybe like Belchetz fits better. He does, so that's interesting. Zelino. Belchetz is there. That's not great. What other two-way type forwards do we have? We do have Samu Petikainen, so maybe we try him there. Yeah, that works. That's good. Done. That's our kill. That's great. I'm happy with that. This is going to have to be better, obviously. So let's swap out Kirka for Zykov, maybe? Slightly better. And then if we put Petikainen here, that should go to 0. No, it doesn't? Really? That doesn't go to 0? Maybe it's because they're both offensive. Yeah, it's more than likely why. Yeesh, okay. Well, that kill is just going to be bad. There's no doubt about it, but there's nothing we can really do about it either. And then, Yeah, okay. This is not going to be great. But we'll have to stick with it because those are our best killers. So, all right, as far as extra lines go, there shouldn't really be a whole lot of question here. Apart from why are we running... I get the point of running DuPont and Levshunov together as far as point production. But we have Weston Holloway, who's a lefty. And why wouldn't we put him where he belongs, if I'm being completely honest, which is top pairing lefty. And then run Zykov and... Levshunov is the second pairing, and then Kirka, and yeah. That is hopefully the goal. I actually haven't checked how heavily or lightly penalized we are. It's something I haven't really paid attention to. Okay, quick question though. Why is... You can never make it zero positive. Yeah, because you got to have like all the defensive X factors for it to actually work well. I think that's the only way it actually works properly. And if you don't have that, then it just is impossible to use, really. So, all right. Great 3-on-3 lines, though. Obviously, those are going to be nice. And Misa and Belchetz, we're going to change that up just a little bit. We're going to go Misa and DuPont as the two extra attackers. And, all right, I think we're ready to rock and roll with that lineup. It is such a drastic improvement over last year. Like, it's not even remotely close, really. So, and then I think we have to throw Sawyer Saunders in as the backup this year. And then, of course, keep Ryan Fanti in. Well, maybe we won't keep Ryan Fanti in, but we'll see. We'll see. I might do that. But yeah, anybody else have decent potential overall? Not really. Like, yes, obviously everybody has somewhat decent potential. We are going to play Valaquette, or Valaquette, however you say his name. I literally can't say his name. But we'll throw him in over... Let's see, who's the lowest potential here? Probably Myers, if I'm being completely honest. Does anybody get decent chemistry? Nobody gets decent chemistry. Okay, well, that kind of stinks, but we'll make it work. Actually, I'm looking at it now. We cannot spread our centers out. We don't have enough centers in the AHL. Yeah, that's gonna be... That's going to be how it is, I guess. Why don't we try... Sweat? Yeah, there we go. That's a top line. That'll be nice. So we'll run that. And then I am going to throw Savan up here. Sekras and Engel fit gorgeously together there. And then I'm wondering, does Fucale... Oh, yeah, Fucale's going there. Absolutely, he's going there. But then, of course, we still have Valaquette, who fits very well on the bottom pairing. Actually, he's a second line guy. Let's put him in there over Savan. Hopefully that improves the chemistry with those guys playing well. And then, yeah, we've got Jay Swanson playing bottom line, which is interesting. Are his face-offs okay? He's got 60. They all have 60, apparently. Well, we could put Savan in as center. That might be better. But yeah, like, not bad forward chemistry there, I have to say. That's better than I was expecting, for sure. Rogers just does not fit there at all, but that is okay. Oh, there we go. Just swap Van den Busch in. Yeah, that's great. Oh my goodness, that is a great defensive group for the Miners, I gotta say. Alright, so we're gonna start... I think we have to start Ryan Fanti this year, because he's been absolutely amazing in the past when he's gotten to play more than 20 games. So we'll start him, and then we'll have Sawyer Saunders to grow and learn from him as the backup, because obviously at this point Svitov is 24 and probably never going to make the league. Actually, at 24, yeah, okay. Well, he probably could make the league, but we're not going to really give him that opportunity. So there you have it. That's our lines for this year. The only other thing we have to go and edit, give Fanti the C and the A. Or in the A, sorry, yes. I would if I could. Unfortunately, you can't list goalies as captains. Like, that just simply is not allowed anymore, based on how much Roberto Luongo abused it. We are going to give Jörg Kirka number 91, because he wants 19, but obviously Healy has that number already. And then apart from that, I think all our other numbers are good. Ooh, no, Zykov's number 51 still, so that's supposed to be 55. All right, we'll edit that for sure. And then I think we're good. I think we are ready. The only thing I might do is look to make like another roster move or something and bring up a better forward. Because right now, if you look at how many defense we have, like we have way too many defense. Like Zamula's the only one we should have scratched, maybe Zamula and Carlisle. But right now we just have way too many additional defensemen. So that is where we will bring up Myers, and we'll have too many skaters if we do that. So then we will send down Mackey, and that should be fine. And then rolling that way, our lineup is going to be better. So, all right, that is our lineup for this upcoming season. I think it's going to be a really fun one, but we'll see. And that is where we're going to wrap up episode number, 17? Something along those lines. I probably have my episode numbers wrong at this point because we've done so many live streams. Actually, yeah, this would be 19, which is crazy because we're on live stream 10. We've been doing two videos per session essentially here. But yeah, that is it for this one. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching on the edited side of YouTube. Have a great day.